Hey guys, Gaston with Rough Country. Today we're going to be installing our hard trifold flip-up bed cover for the 22 and up Toyota Tundra. Now this cover is compatible with the Tundras that have the bed utility rail system as well as those that don't. We include hardware for both. It's going to look like you have a lot of hardware, but you're only going to need to use one or the other. Before we get started, let's go over what's included. Now if you don't have the rail system, you're going to use these clamps to attach your side rails. We've got two brackets that are attached with an Allen bolt, and they have an adjustment knob on the bottom. This portion of the bracket is designed to slot into the rail, and this side is going to clamp to your bedside rail. Now if you don't have the bed utility rail system, this is all the hardware you're going to use to attach your rails to the truck. But if you do, you're going to use these. They've got a specific plug that's going to go into the rail, and again, the same shape to slide into our rail. Now with the bed utility rail system, we're also going to need to lower the height of the rail inside the bed. We provide all the necessary hardware to do that. I'll go over that during the install. We also include a bulkhead seal for the front of the bed to help weatherproof the cover. We've got our drain tubes that attach to our rails so we can channel any water that may get in there out of the bed. We also have our carriage bolts as well as knobs that are going to clamp down our pivot point or our hinge for the flip up portion of the cover. We've got our cover's rails that mount to your bedside. They are side specific and they are labeled as such, so you can't make a mistake there. And we've got the cover itself. Let's get started on the install. Because this cover fits both the truck with the bed utility rail system and without, we ship it with hardware for both, we ship it with instructions for both, and I am going to install it both ways. I've taken the rail completely off of the driver's side. We're going to install that, assuming this truck never had it. I'm going to start on the passenger side where the rail system is. We're going to lower that rail down with the supplied hardware. Then we're going to attach our rail to the bedside. Once we get that squared away, we're going to move over to the driver's side, and I'm going to show you how to attach if you have a standard bed without the rail system. So if your truck did not come with the utility rail system, you can skip to that part, and I'll meet you over there and we'll get started on your install. Otherwise, let's get going on the passenger side. So here are the brackets for the standard install without the utility rail. From here over are our brackets and hardware for the trucks that do have the utility rail. We've got our brackets that install the rail, and we've got our hardware to lower the factory rail. We've got our bulkhead seal as well as our drain tubes. All right, let me grab the hardware necessary to install the passenger side. We'll get in there, remove the utility rail, drop it down, and install our covers rail. We're going to go ahead and remove the factory rail, and then I'm going to show you how we use the supplied hardware to drop it down, and then we'll reinstall it and get ready to install our covers rails. With our rail out of the way, we're going to take our, I'm going to call it a relocation block, and take our flush mount Allen. We're going to install those into the factory location, get that nice and tight and square. And what that does is gives us a new mounting point that's slightly lower and exactly where we need our rail to be. Now we will reinstall the utility rail with the supplied shorter hardware. Before you install your rails, you're going to go ahead and install your bulkhead seal. We're going to pull the backing off of the bulkhead seal and apply it right along the back here. Press down and go all the way across the back. Now that we've got our utility rail relocated down just a little bit, we're going to take our side rail for our bed cover and install it on our bedside. We're just going to simply put it in place and slide it as far forward as it's going to go. Make sure it lines up with where our tailgate closes here. Next, we're going to install these slugs into the factory utility rail, and they're going to go just like this with the nub portion pointed out towards you. You're going to drop in the rail, and we're going to slide them down. There's going to be 3 one at that end, one in the middle, and one at this end. Once we've got all three in the rail, we're going to take this portion of the bracket, find the cutout in the cover rail, drop it into that channel, and we're going to slide this one back, and we'll bring the slug even to meet it. We'll repeat that process in 3 points, and we can take our bolt, run it through the bracket into the slug. Once we're happy with the position, we'll tighten those down. Now we're going to repeat that process 2 more times on this side. So we'll take our bracket, find the opening in the channel, drop it in place, and we're going to slide it forward. So we're going to line the slug up, and again, install our bolt. We'll do that 1 more time on the far end. We'll make sure the position of the rail is correct, and by rail I mean the covers rail, and then we'll tighten everything down. Position isn't critical. What we're looking for is one at the far end, one pretty much in the middle, and then one at this end. All right, now we're going to install our drain tube. We're going to install it to this brass nipple and then run it out of a hole at the bottom of the bed here in the corner. Again, that's so any water that may get in this channel is going to run down and out of the bed. Now that completes the passenger side as well as the how-to for the trucks that have the bed utility rail system. Let's go over to the driver's side and we'll do the standard install. Before we put our rail in place on the driver's side for the standard install, I'm going to show you the principle behind how we clamp it to the bed rail itself. So this portion is going to slide under this lip. This will connect to the channel in our bed covers rail. And then once we tighten that bolt down, it's going to clamp it nice and tight to the bed side. We'll go ahead and set our left side rail in place and slide it forward, making sure we're nice and even with our tailgate divot here. And we will take our bracketry and we are going to slide under that lip I showed you. And then I'm going to slide this back in the channel. And now it's ready to tighten down. We'll do that 2 more times. Again, we're going to go under the lip of the bedside into the channel of the tonneau covers rail and slide forward slightly. And 1 more time, behind the rail on the, or rather behind the lip on the truck's bedside into the channel and slide forward. Now I'll go back through and tighten all of our Allen bolts, and if we need to adjust the actual angle of the rail, that's what these knobs are for. And just like we did on the passenger side, we're going to install our drain tube. We're going to slide it over the nipple and out through the hole in the bed's corner. Now we're ready to place the cover itself. We're going to bring it back and set it in place preliminarily. Check and see if we're even side to side. Need to come this way a little bit. We're going to take this seal, fold it forward so that it drapes over between the cab and the bed. That is critical to make sure that we have a weather-resistant seal. All right, with our cover set in place, we're ready to install our carriage bolts. These are going to go through the cover and attach the pivot point of the cover to the actual side rail. Once we drop our carriage bolt down, I'll get underneath, attach our knob. We'll thread that on, get it nice and tight, and then we'll add a wing nut to make sure that knob doesn't back off when we're going down the road. Now I'm going to carefully bring this panel up. It's going to do 2 things. It's going to give me access to the carriage bolt, and it's also going to put some weight on it so I can tighten it down. There's our carriage bolt. And now I'm going to go ahead and tighten down our knob. All right, let's do the same on the driver's side. Finally, we'll attach the safety straps on both sides. Let's fold it out and see just how good it looks. Now you can run this cover in 3 positions. You can have it fully covering the bed like we do now, or you can fold it up to the first panel like a standard tri-fold bed cover, And finally, the best thing about this cover, you can flip it up from there and you have full bed access. Guys, that's just how easy it is to install the hard trifold flip-up bed cover for the 22 and up Toyota Tundra, whether you have the utility rail system or a standard bed. I know you guys can do it. I hope this helped. And if you're watching this and thinking about getting this bed cover, stop thinking and start doing. Check it out today at roughcountry.com.